back in the IPL studio, and I'm joined by my very special friend, Karen McDermott. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Usually when I talk to you, it is always about how you're taking over the world. KMD Books is a brand that I feel very proud has come from Rockingham, and because I know the history of it, I've seen the books that you've produced, and now we're talking thousands upon thousands of books.
So many books. So many books.
So many stories. But what we're actually talking to you today is about a story that is very near and dear to your heart. And I think that there's a lot of parents that can relate to your story, and I think this is why you're telling it, is because it has been difficult. You have hit hurdles along the way, and you wanted to share them with us. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you're here?
Absolutely. So, hey, Jess, thank you for being the person I come to share this story.
I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh, and it's amazing because everyone on Facebook's going to me, God, Karen, you're doing all of these wonderful things, but they don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So I have gone through the worst 3 to 4 months of my life. My poor daughter is going through a big struggle. And as a parent, we can take that on board for ourselves, but it's not about me. It's about her and her journey and me showing up and supporting her on it and really connecting and being intuitive in that guidance. So it's been a really interesting path, and she's been hospitalized for like 25 days, twice, 2 different occasions, within a month, 25 full days. 25 days? That's a massive chunk of where you go. Are you up there with her for those 25 days?
Yes. And the rest of your family that you have to provide care for. I know you said that this is her story, but also as a mum, how did you cope?
Well, luckily, Kieran happened to be off work at the time. He was having a career break by choice. But it wasn't leisurely career break. It ended up being that he ended up being there at home with the other kids and being there, keeping that going. And I was full-time in the hospital advocating for Kira because I was really passionate that she was put under the wrong model of care. And it's not that the hospital are amazing.
Yeah.
They saved her life. What they do is phenomenal. The nurses are amazing. Everyone's amazing.
Yeah.
But this is where the resources were. And it was a total mismatch. And we ended up, I feel, under the wrong model of care, and then she's ended up taking on, because she's got OCD very seriously, she ended up taking on a load of extra things that she was introduced to. So there was frustration, but there was also my intuition going, no, this isn't right, and I voiced it, and it was listened to, but the results,
From the moment you realised that this was not the right model of care to the point of where you voiced it, was it immediate, or did you have time to process to go, am I right? Should I be trusting the doctors that they know best? Or it's my daughter, I've got this link, as you said, your intuition was going ping, 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 this is not right.
Well, this is me, Jess. I can't hold back.
No. But could you understand how a parent may be afraid to speak up in that circumstances?
Well, these are our doctors. We trust our doctors and our nurses, and they are amazing. But we also have to be parents and say, this is what's right for my daughter or my son, because this is what they need right now. And we are with them all the time. We know them better than anybody. They know themselves. So we have to advocate for them and say this doesn't fit. And they were amazing. They were so it was worked around us the best they could.
Yeah.
But they're restricted as well because they have so much paperwork to do. They have to put things in boxes, and sometimes kids don't fit into a box when it's a complex situation.
They often say it's darkest before it's light. Mm-hmm. Is it getting lighter for you? You said that this has been one of the worst periods of your life. Are we on the right track now? Are we on the right path?
We are on the right path, and it is because I kind of took the reins and said, this is what we need. And we're still on the journey. Her journey is going to be a long one. And one of the things, Jess, and nobody knows this, only you and a few others, is after her first hospital stay, we went home and she felt that she wasn't being heard and she wasn't getting the support she needed with her thoughts, and she took an insulin overdose.
Yeah.
Now, apart from your child dying, for a child to try to take their own life and to have to phone an ambulance, and it was so serious. They were with us in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the stillness of that moment and the realization that if we don't take action now, she's not going to be here in 2 hours' time.
Yeah.
Like, that is harrowing to think that, and that will always be with her. But she was just in that desperate moment, and that's how she could get heard. And so we've worked with that, and because I've got 6 kids, we've got a busy house, and I said, we have now got a code word. So if ever you have a child who is a bit vulnerable, have a code word. Our code word is rocket. And if she says rocket, that's it. She doesn't take advantage of it, but if she says rocket, everything else drops. And she gets what she needs to get over that moment, because it is a moment,
Yes.
And so, but she hasn't had to use her code word since.
She's a young, developing young woman who needs time, and sometimes our kids can be impatient, can't they? And they want things fixed straight away, and she's going to have to sit with this and work with time to be able to heal from all of this, and also live with the changes in her life, because what she has is going to affect her lifelong, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that she has anxiety, and she has thoughts that are, OCD is a horrible thing that I think is very misunderstood. She's also living with type 1 diabetes, but that we have under control.
Yeah,
it's the OCD was 10 times worse than, and it, I believe, was triggered due to the trauma of her diagnosis when she was in ICU and things like that. But that's our personal scenario. But there's many kids out there who are not feeling heard and who are feeling desperate, and take these. May take an action. I'm lucky that as soon as she done it, she told me, and I was able to action it straight away, because we have a really good, open, non-judgmental relationship. And so the action could be taken, and we got her life saved. Worst night of my life. But so then we put things in place for her to get heard, and so she needs help. And so we had to get the help in place. So it's just so important that we listen, and that we intuitively get guided as parents to be the advocate for our kids, because there's lots of things happening, and lots of ways for things to happen in the hospital, and you have to be a really big part of that care plan. And really know what your child wants. The doctors are amazing at listening to what the kids want, but you've also got to advocate for them, because I felt very strongly that my daughter was in the wrong model of care, under the wrong label, and she ended up because she has OCD, she ended up taking on extra things that I could foresee, but that she was introduced to, and it is frustrating, and it's hard, because now she has to undo other things or move through other things, and so we have to work harder.
How are you going to find balance in this, Karen?
Well, I finally have peace in it.
Yes.
Yes, so I think it's the peace, because when you feel very passionate and all of your motherly instincts, are going, no, this isn't right for my child, that's when everything feels uncontrolled and unmanageable and up in the air and scary. And so when you find the right care model and forward approach to be progressional, and know that you're working towards a solution for your child to be able to, because the work still has to be done.
Yeah.
You can't avoid
it's ongoing.
That. We're not afraid of hard work, but I don't like moving forward with things if it's not if it's in the wrong path. You feel like you're walking down a path that's going in the wrong direction. And so I had to take a few steps back and say, this is the path. And now we've got peace, and now we've got the solution that is, because we were going backwards a lot, and now we feel like we're going forwards.
You and I share a friend at the moment who may be going through something very similar to what you're going through at the moment, and all of us are thinking of that young man at the moment. I put the GoFundMe page on my page today, hoping that if anyone can support, they do, but if they could send some positive energy to this young man, we're hoping that he is opening his eyes soon and coming back to us. And yeah, we're really looking forward to him coming home.
There's so many prayers going out.
Yes.
And so much energy, and you can just feel it, can't you?
if you could give her some words of wisdom, because you've been through this, like, you know, what has it been, 12, 13 days, and now they're possibly looking maybe 40 days, I'm not sure, in that hospital, what would your words of comfort or support be?
Well, absolutely self-care. Make sure you keep your cup full. I know what it's like. I was just sneaking out to get something to eat or just to catch my breath for a moment, because I was there all night, all day, every day, but would, you know, sneak out for a coffee or whatever. But just to make sure that you keep your cup full so that you can pour into it whenever you need to. And you know, a mother's love, a dad's love, all of that love, and everybody who you know, you feel people behind you. So do lean on others for support.
For those who don't believe in magic, you don't see love, you feel it. It's not something you physically see. So you have to believe in that.
Well, energy, our bodies are energy. At the core of every atom is energy, and when we're all pouring energy into one source, that's healing it. So I know that there's so much healing happening, and we have to have faith and believe, and I know that there's so much faith and belief, and it's hard.
And sending out love to that mum, because I feel like she has a lot of faith.
Oh, she's amazing.
She has a lot of faith.
Dads, because the dads have often silently suffering, just ride the wave without dealing with things. So it's important to talk, and it's important to connect with others. It's important to feel supported by others and held by others, and allow that to have a sacred space.
Yes.
You know, it's very important.
So you said you're on the right path now. What are you kind of manifesting for the future?
Well, you know, I'm the
queen of manifesting.
It's hard to manifest whenever you're in this energy, but as much as things felt like they were falling apart, and I do often believe that things have to fall apart to come together again, but there's lots of other things in my life, just like it's phenomenal happening. But this is what's so important to me, because being a mum is the biggest job in the world, and I love it. I love all of my kids, and they're all so different.
Do you love them all the time, though? Because me and Emma often talk about, I've only got 3, but sometimes I love one more than the other. It varies from day to day. I love them all, but sometimes one can be nicer to me than the other.
Yeah. You know, I love them all the time, but I don't like them all the time. I think that's normal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I hope so.
We can give ourselves a break as mums, but we just do our best and we don't beat ourselves up, but we need to keep our cups full.
You had a very good sequence, and you've written a series of books that kind of follow a sequence.
Yeah.
Through going through this, has your sequence changed? Have you found an extra step, or...
No, it's all the same, you know, and it could, because of the energy, you know, the love, I suppose, is at the core of my series, you know, of my master gifts, love. So I've been really leaning into love and healing and self-love and love for my daughter and all of the things around, you know, all of my kids as well, because, you know, we've been doing extra beach walks, we've been doing lots of park visits and all of these things, because our family, it's not just one child, that everyone feels it.
Yeah.
So we all come together as much as we can, just to, you know, it's not a forever thing, but it is something that we will be managing, you know, and working with and living with. So, and it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay.
Yes.
Because I'm going to always be here to support you.
Oh, Jess, I love you.
I love you back. I love you back big time. I don't know whether you know this, but Karen has been a huge part of my journey to where I am today with my business growth, with finding out what really suits me and what I'm best at. You are someone who always makes yourself feel like you're important, you're valuable. And I think that's what makes you such a good public speaker, is you always speak from the heart, but there's always a message in what you say that kind of, I think, relates to everybody. You can relate to everybody, and that's why your TED Talks are huge, your books are amazing.
We just can be ourselves, can't we?
Yeah.
And we've got to prioritise joy.
Yes.
You know, like even the dark
It's your
moments,
word of the year, isn't it, joy?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. It's my word of the year. I said, the year of joy.
Yeah.
And it's like, I fell into a sinkhole, but there were still moments of joy, and I don't feel guilty for that, because that's what fills your cup. You know, we could still laugh, you know, and we could still find fun and joy. And that, you know, laughter's the best medicine, Jess.
Yes.
it's really healing. So we do that.
Isn't that interesting that your word of the year was joy, and yet you've experienced some of the toughest times, that word is super, super important.
We could still find joy in it.
Yeah.
And, gratitude and all of those things that are really important, like gratitude is one of my master gifts,
So tell me all about your master gifts, because you can all learn a little something here. Tell us.
I'm just about to finish them, Jess, which is like my life's work. Yes, mindfulness, knowing. So that's your intuition, is your knowing.
Yeah.
It's, honoring that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't honor that, you go on a wrong path, and you'd feel
and you know it.
You feel you've
yeah.
misaligned, and then intention.
Yeah.
So my intentions are always honorable and love fueled. Then there is love, gratitude, forgiveness, and I'm just about to send the beauty and belief off to my beautiful editor Tina Raffa-Mulligan, who is a local amazing author and editor here in.
You know about the book signing?
Yes, I'm organising that on Saturday. Tina's coming, yes.
Yeah, I'm coming too.
Yay! Awesome. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's Kieran's 50th on Friday, so I may be...
Happy birthday, Kieran.
Yeah, tomorrow, 50 years old.
50. We're going to get there one day.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to 50s. I may get sleep in my 50s. My 30s and 40s, I ain't had much sleep. That's why I did it a lot in my 20s. Yeah. I'm hopeful for my 50s.
That's why kids sleep a lot, is because, once you get older, you don't get a lot of sleep these days.
In my 50s, most my kids will all be teenagers.
Yeah.
And teenagers, you can't get them out of bed in the morning, stuff like that.
Rob, do we get much more sleep when we're older? My producer Rob's, going yes. But I think that's a fake yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes. Karen, thank you so much. Will you keep us, attuned?
Yeah, because we're still in it.
Yes.
We're not through it, but I'll absolutely come here and share, because mental health is a very important subject.
Well, I'm actually thinking about talking to Miss Carey Ridley at the Little Bookshop about doing an outside broadcast within her shop. Hopefully September 14th, which is Are You OK Day?
Oh, I love that day.
Maybe we could do something together. What are you thinking?
Absolutely. That is the best day. I love Are You OK Day.
Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. It is an
Are You OK Day every day. We need to ask, if someone comes into our mind, we need to reach out to them and ask, are you okay? I actually done it yesterday with one of my authors, because I haven't heard, and I had a niggle or something up, and I asked her if she was okay, and she wasn't. And this morning I got a message saying, thank you for asking, and she was able to share it. So it's important every day, but it's good to have a day.
You've always said words are powerful things, and just asking, are you okay? It just sets in motion a series of things of people going, actually, thank you so much for asking. I'm not doing that well. Can I share?
Yeah, and people just get this hunch, because even when I was in hospital, I was getting messages from people going, you just popped into my mind. Yeah. And I know you'll understand this, Karen, but, and are you okay? And I was like, yeah, there's a bit going on. I'll touch base with you after, or, if it's a sacred space to share, then I will share.
Yeah. I would imagine you got a lot of messages. I was one of those, because I did notice that there was just a little bit of a fade and I thought, what's going on here? I thought I'd send out a message, and then you always are, Jess. But I love you so much. You've got so much coming up for the last half of the year. Crom Castle is in November.
We are looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Kira's looking forward to coming and being with my family's over there, so she's going to go and hang out. Dylan's coming. We're going to have the best event, and we have a big announcement happening on KMD Books today. This is huge, and it's all about story. Okay. And I want you to be part of it.
Oh, I'm in. That's all it takes for me. It is 11:54, which means I'll be wrapping up because that entertainment is starting next. I think Brenton's away, so it's just Cheryl, and I'm sure she's entertaining. She always is. Yes. And she can dance. She's the best costume designer in the world, and she must have heard me. She's coming in.
I told you, colourful.
She's always colourful. She's always bright. She's always entertaining, and she knows what's going on in the theatre biz. And if you are a young artist, you got to listen into that's entertainment, because she tells you where the rehearsals are at, where you can start training to dance, because it's the Little Mermaid, or what else have we had? Little Mermaid, we've had Les Mis, we've had Tarzan. But even if you're not a young artist or anything like that, if you just want that entertainment, to go and get some culture in your life and watch a few shows and support local theatre, this is your lady.
Amazing.
So I'm going to put on a song now and then sign off. Thanks for listening to the Jess Address. I'm so thankful for Trent from Royal Life for coming in, and also Jenny from sharing their story. Swim and Survive program, I'm definitely getting onto that and looking at a fundraiser in the future for them, because what they're actually doing is making sure that there's no at-risk kids just because they don't have the same ability as others. And big thanks to the City of Kwinana for teaming up with Royal Life and delivering these programs at low cost to families of a disability. It's just amazing what they're doing, and they should get more publicity. So I'm definitely on that trail. But yeah, we're going to listen to a little bit of music now, and it's just a bit of a Shut Your Eyes and put it up there. It's in.
Yay.